Yeah, conservatives, I feel like this year they're a little burnt out because last year they went all out for Pride, and they've kind of just like they're tired this year, right? So they're
They went
focusing
all
on
out
like
for Pride.
Miss
That just sounds-
Rachel. Like, have you all followed this?
Oh
I've
my
been
God.
following the Miss Rachel controversy. For those who don't know, Miss Rachel is an influencer for babies and toddlers. And on her personal Instagram, she just made a post saying, "Happy Pride, everyone. I celebrate you this month and every month. Sweetest lady." And then they lost their shit. She responded to the backlash shit saying, "Actually, I'm a Christian and Jesus tells us to love everyone." So she played the ultimate Uno reverse card. Then they got even more mad. Charlie Kirk is saying, "Oh, yeah? Well, it also says this in Leviticus that you have to stone gay people." Aha! And it's like, oh, you're really taking it. You're really trying to one-up her with the Christianity thing. So it's just, and this compared to like last year, like I feel like they're trying to reenact the whole Dylan Mulvaney hysteria, but they blew their load in 2023, and this year it's all just kind of fallen flat, and they have nothing left to really be outraged
They what,
about.
Mike? They what?
They blew their trans load, you know, as you do.
On the Miss Rachel thing, she's had one of her early guests on. Like, I know this because I have a kid who used to watch Miss Rachel. One of her earliest guests is non-binary. It might actually be her sibling. I'm not sure. But like, so a lot of the conservatives act surprised as if, oh my God, Miss Rachel comes out as, as woke. And like, if you've watched any of her content ever, it's been very clear for a long time that she has, non-binary people, gay people on the staff. Like she's very welcoming. So for
David,
them to act
I noticed you
surprised about
said
this is hilarious.
I noticed you said your kid used to watch Miss Rachel. When did you stop? Did it have to do with the recent
Her Pride post?
Like, whoa, she went woke. God. Sorry, you can't watch it anymore, kid.
So kids, they have phases. He's on, he's been onto Blippi now for a while and some other stuff.
What's great about Miss Rachel,
Blippi, actually.
What's great about Miss Rachel is that she's untouchable. Like they can't do anything to her. She's too big. And their audience, her audience is not affected by, and I don't mean kids. I mean, obviously, but I mean like the parents of kids, the families of kids that watch Miss Rachel are not affected by that. Like she is in a position where she holds so much power over like the ability to say this stuff and do this stuff and not be affected by any reactionary reaction. It's great that she does it. Yeah. And I hope she knows I think she does that. She knows the position
audience,
she's in.
Her audience won't be impacted, but I feel bad for her. Like the amount of hate she must be receiving through like emails, like death threats, that kind of shit, that's got like, regardless of who you are, that has to bother you. So it's disgusting to see them, target someone like this who's dedicated their life to really like, teaching children and being a good person.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like she's the sweetest person. She doesn't.
Yeah, she's very sweet.
She's literally educating children, teaching them about colors, ABCs. She's babysitting these people's kids, and now they're coming after her because she dared on her own time when she's off duty to say, "Hey, I don't hate gay people. Actually, I think they're kind of cool."
I think they're fine. Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. And to Matt's point, like, the Daily Wire, they were really pushing this, and you could tell they didn't even care because they have their own little kids like Netflix. It's called Bent Key, and so they have their own version of Miss Rachel. If you go and look, and it's just
which goes to why I think they've maybe focused on this a lot. It's really a way to kind of just promote their own bullshit that they're now pushing out there.
That's exactly it.
It's always that, right? Like every time they do like, oh, it's this woke entertainment, and buy our streaming service. We're making. I am so curious. Like the Daily Wire is making that like fantasy series. I forgot. Did you hear about that?
They're doing Snow White. I know that.
Are they?
No, right. No, what's his face? I think it's called Pendragon or something. Like the guy, what's his face who runs the Daily Wire? His like big dream was to like direct a fantasy.
Jeremy Boring.
Jeremy Boring. Yeah, it's like an 8-episode like fantasy series that they're doing, and it looks so terrible. I've seen. I'm looking at it because I'm like I'm fascinated because it's like I'm looking into it because I'm like I might cover it because I'm a big fantasy nerd and I just want to like know how badly they make this fantasy show. It utterly fascinates me of just because, and that's all it is. Like they bash Star Wars, they go it's all woke or whatever, so then they can sell their own entertainment. It's just they have it's all reactionary stuff. It's not any earnest. They're all wannabe Hollywood folks. Like they have no earnest desire to tell stories. They're just going to regurgitate stuff that is on their own site,
Yeah, if you watch, there's a Some More News video. He did a deep dive into the Daily Wire and their programs. He did a long review of what's that movie, the Lady Ballers or whatever.
Oh God, Lady Ballers, yeah.
He didn't just like break it down from a propaganda standpoint. Like he actually dove into the specifics of filmmaking, things that, you know, I don't think about it as like the average viewer. And like everything from like the way it was shot, the camera angles, it's also amateur. And like it really shows that yes, these are failed Hollywood stars for a reason. They don't have the talent. They don't have the ability to write cohesive storylines. The arcs are completely incomprehensible and they don't even make sense. There are scenes that were just like random, like Ted Cruz shows up for like a cameo and they don't even use him properly. It's just he tries to find a seat and he's like, oh, I'll find some other seat. It's like, what is the point of this scene at all? Why? First of all, I get that he's in a cameo. Sure, it's Ted Cruz. Yay, we're all fans of him. But, like, why is he just like, oh, this lady gives him a dirty look and then he tries to find another seat? What's the implication? Like, how is that? Are you trying to be anti-trans or something or anti-gay? I don't even understand it. So they can't even do propaganda right, let alone make a fucking film. But it's just, they're so desperate to copy everything. They have a counterfeit Bluey, a counterfeit version of Miss Rachel. But here's the thing. As Matt was saying, Miss Rachel is uncancelable because try to take away Miss Rachel from your toddler and put on the fucking, you know, Daily Wire version of Miss Rachel. Once they throw a tantrum, you're going to be crying back to fucking Miss Rachel, okay? Because if it works, it works. If your kid likes it, you're going to put it on for your kid because, again, she is popular for a reason. Like, she's able to hold their attention. She's teaching them things. Like, I did a video on Miss Rachel a week or so ago, and, like, there are people commenting, like, my kid loves Miss Rachel. She taught him how to count. Like, this is educational, quality, entertaining television. You're not going to take that shit away from your toddler. Try. You're not going to give a shit about woke after 10 minutes when they start throwing a tantrum. So,
yeah. I mean, the type of parents that show their kids the Daily Wire Kids channel are probably the type of parents who have no problem making their kid cry as they take away their favorite TV show or something, honestly. I mean, you know.
True.
Yeah.